And so it's great you guys incorporated the plans that were given by the community.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Does anyone know a Mr. Tyson? No?
Mike Tyson?
No, not Mike Tyson. I know him.
We know.
You know him?
No, not-
He's cool.
No, I just, because when we were, we moved offices, okay, from where we were before we moved downtown. So yesterday I was in there checking the old voicemail line that we have, and there was a Mr. Tyson who was calling to donate some canopies for Whitnall Dog Park. And I haven't called him back yet because it was just yesterday, but I just was wondering if anybody knew him.
Do you have a first name? Because we usually know each other's first name.
We don't know him,
I think that
but,
was his first name. I didn't catch his last name. His last name was kind of mumbled, and I couldn't.
Would canopies be?
but just,
That was why I'm bringing it up, because no structures would be allowed, so.
Not even temporary ones?
Right.
Not even temporary.
not even if we take him down at the end of the day, put up a little gazebo and poof, put it up.
I'm really having a hard time understanding, like, are we?
Because if the
it's not-
power line falls on it, it's electrocute people.
Well,
So,
sure, but if we're standing there and the power line falls, we're still electrocuted, whether
not
there's.
necessarily.
Yeah.
So, that's a wire and power
Yeah.
requirement, so
I totally understand that,
that's
but
what they tell us,
it's,
so.
Even outside of the.
This is an issue for
wide
later.
area?
This is,
Yeah, that would need to be discussed.
I mean, I do think we've done a lot of research into like special trees that don't go up, different little possibilities, and special grasses that seem to serve different dog parks well. And if anybody wants to avail of it themselves of our research, we're really happy to share, of course, but we realize that we're up against governmental regulations and
It's safety
as Donald would say,
issues on their part,
governmental.
liability, yeah.
So even for the mulch that he's talking about, it has to be fire retardant. It can't be just regular wood.
Can't be flammable.
Oh, wow, so you can't just use regular wood
Yeah.
No,
chips?
you can't use regular wood chips, it's gotta be fire retardant.
Well, that's not hard. I mean, fire retardant wood is pretty common, in spite of the lumber.
Well, I
It just
see you
costs
have
more,
the
that's all.
rubber bar.
Yeah, it costs a little
Yeah,
more.
so it
That's
ups the
something
cost.
About not that much more though. I think it's only 20. I used
I'm
to
just
work in
saying
that
that's what-
business.
That's the requirement
Uh-huh.
on everything.
It's about 20% more.
So I think, you're doing the best you can with the limitations that have been put on the facility here. So when, assuming this is all, so what are the next steps on this plan? Does it have to go to the board? Does it
No,
have to
this plan
go to the
will not go to the
community?
board because we can't do this one.
Okay,
But, I mean, what
okay.
we're saying, I think the community needs to decide what, we're coming back and telling you the things that you can do.
Mhm.
So how much of that and where do you want them? Is
Mhm.
the next question.
So-
And you can work with us, say, so we can minimize some of those costs by having the ADA stuff kind of gathered right near the entry point, so we don't have to go all the way into the park and have longer stretches of paving or anything like that. And then, if you guys want grass or Javier can speak to, how long that would last. I mean, based on our experience in having grass in dog parks. But it's really basically just kind of working it back and forth and see how do we come up with the right plan based on the limited amount of money we have.
So a new plan would then get presented to DWP, am I understanding?
Eventually, they're going to have to approve the final plan because they do own the property.
Can I have one little question, just more general. The ADA thing, we're paying for that, or the city or government is paying for the American Disabilities Act requirements?
I think it just depends on how much things are costing and, how that lines up. I mean, they are all improvements to the site, so, they could, I think any of it could fall under the beneficial thing, but we do have the 20K from the council office, which is great, so, how that works out is how it's gonna work out.
Is there an annual budget for maintaining the park as it sits without Benefill?
We need to look at to see what's on Thurman's spreadsheet as far as what maintenance funding is
It's
available.
for maintenance, for taking care of the park, trash cans and cutting the grass that used to be there.
No grass to cut, but okay, yeah.
And
Fence repairs, that type of
Fence
thing.
repairs, trash cans that we put out there and all the scoopers.
Replacement trash cans, they rot away quickly with dog urine.
Yeah, and I noticed you guys doing some work on the drainage, dumping sand in the middle of the park and stuff.
Yeah, we put some gravel in the pits with it
Right.
to keep the water from getting muddy and all that.
So there's a
We did
small
some-
budget for that kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
If there's,
Just for upkeep,
we
it's a
don't get an
maintenance
annual
upkeep.
budget for improvements.
Pardon me?
We don't get an annual budget for
For
improvements.
Yeah, that, just for maintenance.
Yeah.
That's the thing with rec and parks, I've learned over the years, you know, a lot of people, like a grant will happen, or someone will say, hey, we want to acquire this open space, and everyone's great, great, great. And then it's like, well, who's gonna maintain it? Oh,
Right.
these guys, but guess what, they're not given a budget to do it, you just gotta make it work. That's,
make it work.
they do a really good job with the limited resources they have, and I think that's part of the design too, is to try and keep it as low maintenance as possible, but still make it as aesthetically pleasing as possible.
And actually, just to go back to give you a little bit of background of the partnership division, that's why back in 2011, it was actually created to try and see if it could seek out and secure outside funding to try and help support our programs and facilities.
Great, I need your number.
If you got money, I'm willing to talk to you.
Well,
And that's, I mean, there's park adoption, there's, you know,
Right, there's a lot of
there's a
things.
Friends of
There's
group,
Petco,
that type of
there's-
thing to
yeah,
kind of
I'm
help
sure all these people you
supplement
work
what's going on here. Of course, they'd be welcome to that, any fundraising efforts
We don't
outside
have to
of
be like a
town.
nonprofit, or is it not a nonprofit donation if we do donate to the current coalition or whatever it is?
There's there's the LA Parks Foundation that we could put you in touch with. They're
then-
kind of a fiscal receiver
Yes.
for people that want to donate to parks. And we actually, we had a meeting with the councilman a couple weeks ago, and I told them about this project, and that was their first question. Oh, is there a Friends of group? You know, do you want us to come meet? So I was going to invite them to the community meeting and talk about their efforts, what they do, how they do it, how there might be an opportunity to do some fundraising to supplement and support the park, so.
Okay, one,
If that is a donation, is there any part taken by the parks where they can say that 100% of it goes to it?
I believe they're just like a fiscal receiver, but I'm not sure, and that's why I was gonna invite them and have them come talk about that.
Oh, are you talking about the Parks Foundation?
Yeah,
Or okay,
yeah,
the
I
Parks
know.
Foundation does take an administrative fee, which depending on the size of the project and depending on how much effort they're gonna put into the project, it could range anywhere from 10 to 15% of
Okay,
what's
so
donated.
like what we would be donating is to the existing current project is what we'd be fundraising for. is what
Correct,
you're
but I'm just saying that, I mean, we could talk later, and I can
Yeah.
explain it all in more detail, but there are some administrative fees, you know, that go into donating to the Parks Foundation.